Be sure to follow my Twitter account at 90sbabygamer. What's going on, guys? It's the 90s Baby Gamer bringing you another video, and this time I'm here to talk a little bit more about the PC version of WWE 2K15. I got two things to talk about, and the first thing I'll dive into are the minimum system requirements for 2K15. So if you want this game to run on your PC, it's not going to require much, right? Let's start with the operating system. 64-bit Windows Vista SP2. As far as the processor goes, it's a Core 2 Duo E6600, and then if you want to go with the AMD option, the minimum is AMD Athlon 64X2 5400 Plus. For memory, 4 gigs of RAM. For the graphics card, NVIDIA GeForce GTS 450. On the Steam website it says GTX 450, but there's no such thing as a GTX 450. It is a GTS 450, or the AMD equivalent, AMD Radeon HD 5770. 1 gigabyte of DDR memory for the card. DirectX 11 is required as expected. But at this point, if you don't have a DirectX 11 card at least, then I don't know what you're doing. I really don't. And the hard drive space minimum, they recommend 22 gigs. Now, recommended specs, 64-bit Windows 7 or Windows 8, Intel i5-3550, memory, 8 gigs of RAM. For the graphics card, NVIDIA GeForce GTX 570 or AMD Radeon 6970. So those are the minimum specs and the recommended specs. You know, these minimum specs are kind of light here. If you look at the processors, you know, I think most people can say that they have a better processor than that. As far as the RAM goes, they don't require 6 gigs or 8 gigs like a lot of games are doing now with the PC versions. They need more RAM in order for you to run it more efficiently, but it looks like 2K games are optimizing this title well. Hopefully they are. And as far as the graphics card goes, these are, well, I'm not sure about the 5770, but I do know that the GTS 450 was released about 5 years ago. I believe September 2010 is when that card was released. So these minimum specs, so you should be happy with these minimum specs. It doesn't take a lot to run WWE 2K15, and I kind of expected, you know, pretty decent minimum specs, seeing as how 2K15 was surprisingly really low on the minimum requirements as well. So this really doesn't surprise me. Now let's move on to a little bit of bad news, you know, when it comes to 2K15 for the PC, and that is Paige will not be in the PC version of the game because she's listed as a Season Pass exclusive, and even though you get all the DLC with WWE 2K15 on the PC, you will not be getting Paige because she was a Season Pass exclusive. And from the comments of the 2K15 directors, it looks like they just ported this. They're done with 2K15. They're done with all the DLC. They're done with the PC port. They're done with it, period. They probably won't go back to this. They probably won't add Paige to the PC version of the game, and they have completely moved on to 2K16. Now, this game is released tomorrow. I can tell you this. Modders are probably going to get hard to work on making Paige. You know, that's all I gotta say. They'll probably put her Titantron. They'll probably put her theme music. So I'm not too worried about it. At the same time, though, THQ in this aspect, I say THQ. THQ's dead. Um, the 2K developers and Ukes, you know, whatever you wanna whoever you wanna blame here, right? Um, I think it's really lazy. I think they could have added Paige in. I'm not gonna complain too much though, however, because of the simple fact that yes, they are moving on to 2K16, and they ported 2K15 probably at the last second. You know, they probably wanted to hammer out all these details, right? So, you know what? As long as the game is well optimized for PC, I'm fine with it. Like I said, I was never a huge fan of 2K15, but if they got the optimization down on PC, that's all that really matters. You know, if you don't have Paige, so be it. All right, she's my favorite diva, but still. so be it. Just as long as the game is well optimized and there's no problems, and as long as it doesn't have that stutter issue that I have with the Xbox One version, then we'll be all good. Alright guys, that's it for this video. If you like it, be sure to leave a thumbs up, and if you like more of my content, be sure to subscribe. Until the next time I catch you guys on the next video, I will catch you guys later.